Mr. Gaskin, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On August 27th, 2024, an officer was dispatched to a Five Below and spoke to the complaining witness, the store manager, who stated that while she was helping a customer, she witnessed the defendant enter the store and quickly place many items into his personal bag before walking past all points of sale without paying. She notified the on-site security officer who followed the defendant to a bus stop. Complainant stated the defendant has shoplifted before at that store in the past, and despite verbal trespass warnings, he continued to return. The officer stated that the complainant had observed the defendant board a Metro bus. The officer then flagged down the bus and was able to detain the defendant. The officer brought the defendant back to the scene. The defendant was positively ID'd by the complaining witness and the security guard. The officer searched the defendant's backpack and located the stolen merchandise.
Right. Mr. Gaskin, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. First off, I'm glad that you came.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming. Good things happen when you come to court. Number two, they know you at this Five Below. Every single time you go back, they're going to watch you like a hawk because they know you. They watch you. Every time you go back to the store, as soon as you go there, every single eye in the sky is looking directly at you. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint your lawyer today. Keep coming back and good things will happen. But you have to understand, every time you go to that store, they're going to watch you in every single angle that they can. I'm now, as a condition of your bond, making it so you cannot go back to the store.
Yes, sir.
Do not pick up any new cases. If you need any resources, we can give it to you. All you have to do is ask, but don't pick up any new cases.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jermaine, do you mind reaching out to the Mac for Mr. Gaskin? I'm going to have you sign a reset with Jermaine. I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box. Wait for us, and we're going to find you a lawyer. All right? Come on. Is it Krasinski?
Sir. Yes.
Mr. Krasinski, you're charged with forgery of a financial instrument between $100 and $750. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On September 25th, 2022, the complaining witness stated that his vehicle had been stolen from a Home Depot parking lot, Harris County, Texas. A short time later, the officers recovered the stolen vehicle and the defendant was able to get the vehicle back, but his checks were missing. The officers found that the defendant had attempted to sign and forge the cash and cash the checks, which were stolen from the vehicle in the amount of $190 and $125, dated 9/26/22.
Don't say anything. Did they catch him with the checks on him?
So
Did I maybe I zoned out. I don't know.
the checks had been cashed at a bank.
Okay.
And I guess they were flagged as being fraudulent, and the defendant's signature was on the checks.
How do you know? Do you have any kind of visual evidence that he's at the bank, cashing the checks, negotiating the checks? How do you know it's him?
So it looks like the officer that was investigating was able to review surveillance footage from the bank and then
Okay.
compared that to a copy of the defendant's, or photo from the defendant's Texas driver's license. And that's how they were able to identify him.
On video, they see him negotiating the checks, signing, giving it to tellers and taking it.
The officer stated in the DIMS that he was able to obtain a photo of the defendant that was taken at the time of the forgery and then used that to compared the photos from the driver's license.
Okay. What bank is this?
It says Barri Financial Group, BARRI.
Okay. Mr. Krasinski, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to pick up any new cases, not to have any contact with the complaining witness, and not to go back to this bank. Do you understand?
Okay.
Unless you have an open account in this bank. So what happened with the UUMV? Did they catch it? Was he involved allegedly with the UUMV?
There's no allegation that he was involved with that, Judge. Obviously there was a UUMB charge filed against the defendant.
Do you have a co-defendant? Do you know?
There's no co-defendant listed, Judge.
So they didn't arrest anyone with regard to the UUMV, I guess.
It doesn't look like it, Judge.
Okay. What do you do for a living, sir?
I sell stuff on the marketplace, Amazon, stuff like that.
I want you to, I want you to understand that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every person in Harris County. And if I have to put you in jail to protect my county, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat. If you don't have anyone to pony up $5,000 to $10,000 to get you out, you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until this case is over with. And I want you to understand, you better have a halo over your head. Do you understand, Mr. Krasinski? All right. Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir?
Sure. Is there a way to pay restitution on this?
Let's not just... First things first, let me get you a lawyer, and then you'll have you talk to the lawyer and then try to negotiate something with the state. But I don't want you to start saying stuff because, you know, anything you say, they're going to use it against you. So I need you to fill out an application for me, though. Do you mind giving me an application? Thanks. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Jermaine, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, though. All right, come on. So, Morgan, if you can file all those. Mr. Morales, you were placed on probation for driving while intoxicated. It has come to my attention that there are allegations that you have since violated that probation. Do you have a lawyer here with you today?
No, sir.
What do you do for a living?
I just started my own landscaping.
Take a seat for me in the jury box. I'll appoint a lawyer today and we'll figure out what's going to happen. And please, take a seat for me in the jury box. You're not allowed to leave, sir. How has it been not driving in Houston?
Been pretty difficult.
Wonderful. That makes me very happy. Because I would figure that it's elementary that you know that you're not supposed to have alcohol in the car while you're driving. I would think that a third grader understands that notion. And what I want you to understand and take away from this is that it is an absolute privilege to drive. It's not a right. You have no right to drive. If you want to take anywhere, you don't want a right, take the Dodge Patas and you can walk your happy ass from point A to point B. But driving is a privilege. And it is a sacred privilege that we take serious because every day in our county, someone dies from an alcohol-related collision. It is a disgusting and sick statistic. And I, for the short time that we're going to be here, want to try to impart to every single person that it has to change. And it's not hard. It's really easy. And I did this in the hopes that you understand how great of a privilege it is. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So tell me what you're doing now.
To get back and forth from work, I've been riding with coworkers and I've been having my parents take me when they can, and the occasional Uber when no one can get me. But if I had to Uber every day, it'd be...
Mr. Trent tells me that I guess your mother has gone ill as well.
Yes, sir.
And has that been added an issue that's now?
Yes, sir, because she can't drive now, so. And it's just my dad, and he works a few days a week, has to go to the office, so. I'm limited with that, so.
I want you to understand that I will allow you to drive now. But if I find that you're consuming alcohol, if I find that you have any more issues like this, then I'm going to take it away from you. And we're not going to play this game again. You get one crack at the whip, and I really want you to understand that, you know, driving, it's really hard in this, where we live here, as big as Houston is, to thrive without the ability to drive. I'm not asking much. All I'm asking you to do is one simple thing. Number one, don't drink. If you are, just don't get into a car. And for Pete's sake, don't have it in the car while you are driving. Do you understand?
Sure.
Okay, now, as it stands now, you're still not allowed to drink while you're on bond in this case. If you do, I have one place for you. So just listen to Mike. He'll take care of you well. I'll give you back your ability to drive now, but I don't want any more issues. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. Make me proud. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mike. We'll take off.
Reset date.
Yeah, just do what you need to do, a normal reset date, and then we'll make a notation. You are Luis Hurtado. Mr. Hurtado, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
The complainant and the defendant have been married for 3 years. On November 26th, officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas. Officer met with the complaining witness, who stated that she was assaulted by the defendant. Complaining witness stated she came home from work and got mad about the kids being all over the place. Complainant stated defendant struck her with an open fist twice on the left side of her face, causing pain. Officer noticed visible redness and irritation. Defendant stated there was no physical altercation besides him pushing her face.
So with that, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen? Are you in this country with or without permission?
With permission.
What type of permission do you have?
Oh,
You know what? It doesn't even matter. But let me impart something to you. You could be lying to me and telling me that you're the Queen of England, and I wouldn't even know. The only thing I do know is that if you go to jail and your documentation is not in order, and immigration finds you because they sweep it on a daily basis, they will put an immigration detainer on you, and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with. And then you will be shipped off to immigration, where you will sit for another 6 to 9 months waiting for immigration to do whatever they're going to do. Do you understand? I'm now placing conditions on your bond. If you violate these conditions, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds from us. And I don't care if I have to drag you kicking and screaming, but I will do everything in my power to protect every person in this county. And if that means putting you in custody, I'll do it in a heartbeat. A protective order has been issued in this case as of the 28th of last month. And we'll get to know it. Because if you violate this protective order, the state can and will file a violation of a protective order against you, and then things will go sideways extremely quick. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have contact with this complaining witness and not to be in possession of any weapons. How old are you, sir?
27.
27.
What do you do for a living?
¿Qué se dedica?
Trabajo de construcción.
I work in construction.
How much money do you make a month?
Around a mes.
Varía, algunos días no trabajo, pero más o menos 750, 800.
Por semana.
Sí.
It varies, but it's about 750, 800 a week.
Say it again.
750 to 800 a week.
All right, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. As it stands now, don't have contact with her. If she calls you, don't answer the phone. If she contacts you from an unknown number, hang up.
Okay.
Do not go to the house listed in the protective order, otherwise you will end up back in jail.
Terminaría otra vez en la cárcel.
Judge, it looks like in the moment that was filed, the incorrect name was listed. We've received the correct name, so we're going to be amending that.
So if you mind, go ahead and filing it, or do you need?
Because it's wrong, they're gonna follow the.
Yeah, just if you don't mind filing the new one, we'll have him sign it. So I'm now going to file a new protective order. So the correct complaining witness is a Miss Morales. Is it Amari Morales? This person is now a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot stalk, threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of the Austin Avenue apartment in Pasadena, Texas. If you violate this court order, like I said, the state can and perhaps will file a violation of a protective order against you, and then things, do you understand? All right, so I'm going to have you first sign a reset with Jermaine. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it. After that, you'll be free to go. So can you also file the other conditions as well? No contact and no weapons, please. Manuela Rueda, ma'am, you were charged with theft. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On November 27th, officers were dispatched to a theft/stop within call at Dillard's in Harris County, Texas. On arrival, officers made contact with the complaining witness, the LPO, who advised that he observed the defendant take a shirt as well as products out of boxes and conceal them in her handbag. Defendant then walked past all points of sale without paying for the products. The total cost of the stolen items before taxes was $217.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to find probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as the condition of your bond not to go back to this, as you said, Dillard's, right?
Yes, Judge.
Not to go back to Dillard's. I'm also ordering you not to pick up any new cases. I don't know what your immigration status is, ma'am, but if you're not in this country with permission, immigration finds you. For example, if I have to put you in jail and immigration finds you and you're not in with proper permission in this country, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will sit in jail until the case is over with and then shipped off to immigration, or you will sit for another 6 to 9 months. Behave yourself while you're in my county, because I'm going to protect it in every single way. If I find that you're a danger, I'm going to put you in custody. Do you understand? What do you do for a living, man?
Trabajo con mi esposo, una compañía de mi esposo.
I work with my husband and my husband's company.
What kind of money do you make a month?
Como 2,100.
Like around 2,000, 2,100.
Should say 2 or 8?
2,000?
Together, what?
200, 600
Like 1,400, 1,600
al mes.
a month.
Juntos, ¿cuánto haces por mes?
Son 600 por semana.
And 600 a week.
Is that for each of you or one of you together?
For me.
Por semana.
What do you do?
Le ayudo en el trabajo para llevar herramientas, le limpio la oficina, llevo los papeles a la oficina.
It's taking tools to the site.
Can you afford a lawyer, ma'am?
¿Puede contratar su propio abogado, piensa? I think so.
Let's do this. I will give you time. If you have any problems, come back, let us know, and then we can talk about giving you an appointed lawyer. There are lots of lawyers out there in Harris County. It's a matter of you negotiating with them. 99% will put you on a payment plan. But like I said, if you have any issues, come back and we can talk, and we can give you some time. As it stands now, Ms. Reda, don't become a problem to my county. Don't go back to Dillard's. I'm not asking much from you. I will have you sign a reset with Jermaine. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign them. And after that, you'll be free to go, Miss.
Form is yours.
He speaks both English and Spanish, Judge, but he says he may feel more comfortable in Spanish.
I don't know if it's going to be a good Mr. Martinez. I'm not happy with you. I asked you one thing. I have here that you're tampering with your device. Any alcohol detected?
No alcohol detected, Judge.
What, do you know the? But either, what?
So what he tells me in terms of the, I guess, potential tampering, he said was, the device was wet around his skin. So he used, in fact, he told me yesterday, he used a leaf blower to dry it off. That may have been one of the times it was tampering.
That wouldn't cause a tamper. Environmental factors like that don't cause something like that, and that would be such a short period of time. I have the durations of the hours on the little sticky note, and I can't remember them off the top of my head. But tampers are confirmed after 8 hours with no alcohol detected, so therefore leaf blower would, if anything, it would show us hydrogen tamper, but nothing to cause a tamper.
So what we have here, and what I have here, your first tamper was on October 28th, and it was an 11-hour tamper. So more than likely, what we find is that people put things in between the scram device and their ankle to subvert the machine. Your second violation that we have is on November 11th at 3 in the morning, and that one is a 9-hour tamper. How does that happen?
So, Judge, the only thing I have is the violation report. I don't have any other documentation from you guys showing exactly, well.
The problem is that there's only,
But in terms of saying that it was for 11 hours.
I have the scram report, counsel, I can send it over to you.
but, and if you want to take time to look at it, but what we find, there's no cameras, so it's impossible to really look at what they're exactly doing, but all we know is that they're breaking the continual skin and device contact. And how they're doing that, I wouldn't know. Only he knows. But all we know is that the tamper is for a duration because the contact is lost somehow. Piece of paper, could be that they're using a sock, however it may be. But all we know, it's for a certain duration and that it's a tamper and it remains constant for that entire period. So the machine is not able to detect his leg.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm happy to give you the device. You will stay with me now. And
I'd like to look at it and talk about
Yes.
mine to see exactly what.
I mean, I'm not letting him go. But,
Okay, so.
so we'll give you the info now. I'm taking him into custody right now. I'll let you talk. I don't want him to go outside.
I understand. I understand.
But I'll give you more than enough time to talk.
Sure. Okay, we'll talk afterwards.
Yep.
Sure. MAA.